Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I am Surendrapal Singh and I work as a researcher and content facilitator at the Sikh Research Institute, and I'll be sharing some of my thoughts on Vaisakhi. Today is the seventh day of our Vaisakhi countdown, and in this video, I will be talking about two questions. One is, what is Vaisakhi and what does it mean to me as a Sikh? And the second question is, how does it influence me, my perspectives, and politics? So, in Punjab, Vaisakhi has long been celebrated as a harvest festival. It falls on the first day of the Vaisakh month in the Sikh calendar. Vaisakhi intersects with many important celebrations across cultures, both religious and folk. It coincides with the day Gautam Buddha attained nirvana. The day is also celebrated as a new year in many regions in South Asia, including Assam, Bengal, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala. So, coming back to Punjab and Sikh history, Guru Nanak Sahib had a penchant, so to speak, uh, for utilizing such public events and celebrations to reach out to the masses with his message. Guru Amar Das Sahib is believed to have continued that tradition by asking Sikhs to gather at Goindwal every year on Vaisakhi, other than Maghi and Diwali, to receive Guru's blessing. In these gatherings, or even otherwise, Guru's message used to inform people's consciousness and transform it from mundane considerations to that of thoughtfulness. And through these, slowly a paradigm shift happened. A culture that was essentially folk was transformed into a culture of divine awareness. General enthusiasm in life was colored with inspiration, and life ambitions were, molded into purposefulness. All life activity was visualized through a loving relationship with Kalpur. Thus, cultural celebrations were consciously and continuously shaped into deeper celebration of life by the 10 Gurus. Guru Nanak Sahib's revolution of Halemi Raj, as it appears in Gurbani, which loosely translates to the dominion of the humble, it promised dignity and respect for all, liberty from religious and political persecution, and the rule of the collective through self governance. Uh, it was this very revolution that was eternalized through a unification of the awakened people under the Khalsa, irrespective of their background. To me, inauguration of Khalsa smelled fresh like a renewed beginning, coming as it did close to the new year. So on Vaisakhi 1699, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib gave a new life to the seeker by shattering old taboos associated with previous life identities, status, and associated practices. Just like Guru Nanak Sahib's original call, birth in Khalsa siblinghood annihilated the oppressed past of a person through what is known as Nash doctrine in the Sikh tradition. So, birth in Khalsa eliminated past belief system of a person, that is Taramnash. It eliminated past actions, that is Karamnash, past bondages of birth, lineage, or caste, that is Janamnash, shame associated with non-prestigious professions, that is Sharamnash, and of all doubts through the wisdom of the Guru Shabad, which is called Paramnash. So, culturally speaking, harvest of wheat, the Rabi harvest around Vaisakhi, being the first of the year, is celebrated with much more enthusiasm than others. Rabi is an Arabic word which means spring. Incidentally, Vaisakhi is also celebrated as Ucha amongst Hindus. It's that time of the year when sun reaches the highest orbital point during the rotation of the Earth around the sun. It marks the end of the spring season when the vegetation has fully grown. So this harvest, amongst other things, to me symbolizes the abundance of nature and the fruits of labor, just like the inauguration of the Khalsa after long toil and careful nurturing by the 10 gurus. So, as I see it, crops being indispensable to human survival, it has served as a powerful symbol in the Sikh tradition to understand one's relationship with the ultimate provider, which is Akal Purkh. Gurbani frequently uses farming models to relate to crop yield, to the divine blessings, nature's law of just and fair return, and the interplay of actions and consequences, and so on and so forth. I am, many times amazed at how all these elements of life come together in such a beautiful and harmonious existence. I personally believe that uh, wheat flour did not just end up on our plates at home or in the Kada Prasad at the Gurdwaras. It isn't without reason that the that Satta Balwand invoked divine economy of Guru Nanak's house, where Naam and Kheer, which is made from grain, were distributed by Mata Khibi together. For me, it symbolizes an assurance by the Guru of the all round perpetual sustenance for humanity, which is centered around divine awareness or divine aware consciousness. Thus, Vaisakhi to me not only symbolizes cultural confluence, but also it shows the essential unity of the entire existence, as well as the deep human yearning for recognizing the divinity that lies within us, all of us. Now, moving to the second question of what it means in practical terms, how should it affect me and my politics? Well, as the right-leaning, politics is gaining currency and popularity globally, it is a good opportunity for us to reflect on the Guru's call and question who do we really align with and serve, and what is our politics. Time and again, Sikhs as a minority are framed as a model community, and many of us actually fall for such propaganda. Sometimes Sikh values become synonymous to Indian values in the homeland, and sometimes they become synonymous to American values in the diaspora, based on whose interest it is being used for. So I think it's very important to reflect on what Khalsa means and whose interest it actually serves. So Khalsa, as an Arabic and Persian-Arabic word, either means pure or unsullied, or someone who is directly under the command or control of a sovereign. For us, that is Akal Purkh. So to me, the first connotation of pure and unsullied is more internal, which reminds me of Bhagat Kabir ji, who says, uh, Kaho Kabir jan pae khalse, prem bhagat jeh jani. That Kabir states, those who have recognized loving devotion of the divine have become khalse. So the only association of the Khalsa is with Akal Purkh, and that is how the Khalsa has become pure. And that is also how it has stood true to the second meaning of the word, that is being directly connected to and under the command of Akal Purkh and no one else. So by implication, Khalsa only serves the divine and divine will. So what does that mean to us? Bhai Nanlal ji in Tankahnama further clarifies. He says, Khalsa soye panch ko mare, Khalsa soye param ko sade. A little further, he says, Khalsa soye nirtan ko pala, Khalsa soye dusht ko gale. Even further, he continues, Khalsa soye naam se joda hai, Khalsa soye बंधन कौ तोड़ा है खालसा सोए जो चढ़ा है तुरंग खालसा सो जो करे नित जंग खालसा सोए शस्त्र को तार है खालसा सोए दुष्ट को मारे. So documenting the instructions of Guru Gobind Singh Sahib by Nandlal clearly marks the political character of Khalsa. He informs that Khalsa is one who connects with Naam, informs the consciousness, and shatters all worldly bondages, adorns arms, mounts steed, campaigns incessantly, daily, protects the poor, and annihilates the oppressor. Khalsa is also proclaimed as the sovereign rule of the divine in Tankhanama elsewhere. So another Shabad by Guru Nanak Sahib in Sri Rag also reflects similar sentiments, which says, Nicha andar neech jaat, nichi hu ati neech, Nanak tinka sang saath, vadiya su kya rees, jithai neech Somalian, tithai nadr teri baksis. Among the lowest of the low, I am the lowliest of the absolute leader. The Guru is identifying with the weakest in the society, and then he further states, Nanak seeks the company of those why compete with the elite, and where the lowly are cared for, that is where the glance of the divine grace is. So the description of Khalsa being sovereign, principle-centered, anti-power, and pro-oppressed assumes great significance in the face of still prevailing abject poverty, extremely skewed power balance, and systemic oppression in the society. So as we celebrate Vaisakhi today, it is incumbent on us to reflect how we have fared with regards to the Guru's message. What is our commitment to the Sikh ideals of dignity, liberty, and justice for all? So reflecting on the Guru's message, today let's resolve to annihilate prejudice, confront powers, and defend the rights of the downtrodden, which is very, very much the reason of Khalsa existence. But let's do that in divine love, recognizing that everyone is divine. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki